Is up, sports fans? We are back for another episode of the JNS Philadelphia Sports Stop. I'm your host, as always, Stephen Rochelle, being joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Justin Fiorillio. Justin, how are we feeling this evening?
Well, I didn't have an Eagles game or a Phillies game or a Flyers game or a Sixers game to attend, so here I am. So I'm feeling all right. So other than that, though, Steve, things are going well. Blessed as always. And how are things with you?
I'm pretty good. Like I texted you this morning, hopefully I'll have some good news in about 2 weeks. Hopefully another potential job in place. They're not like error mark and don't screw people over. And speaking of which, I don't know if you heard about this, but obviously we know the Sixers and Flyers want a new arena, right? By
Right.
20 by 2030, they should have the new set arena.
Well, they
And
rename it every freaking
Aramark
5 years
is
anyway.
not going to be the food and drink distributor when it comes to the new stadium being built that they're outsourcing to a Chicago agency. So people who been in the Philadelphia area know exactly who we say when we're talking about Aramark. They basically been down at all three major stadiums down there in the South Philadelphia area. So I think that's some news of note.
Yes. Yeah, how about that? And well, I mean, like I was saying, they're always changing the name on the darn stadium every other year. It's the Spectrum, the Wachovia Center, the Xfinity Mobile Arena, the Wells Fargo. I mean, they change the name all the time. But getting a new stadium, and yeah, I'm familiar with the name Aramark, but yeah, it's definitely interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, and speaking of interesting, I was just kind of touching base with this beforehand. It's kind of the new story I wanted to run with today here on the JNS Philly Sports Stop, and it's one that kind of hits the home. I came across this article from one of our lovely sports writers in the area, and the Philadelphia Inquirer had found dangerous chemicals in the AstroTurf of the now demolished Veteran Stadium. Six Philadelphia Philly players who played on that turf, Tug McGraw, Darren Dalton, John Vukovic, John Oates, Ken Brett, and David West, have all died of rare aggressive brain cancer. These six players that all died in their 40s or 50s, roughly three times the rate of the average adult population. Even more alarming was the mutual diagnosis of was it glioblastoma, and the Phillies have also were sold off pieces of that turf and sealed it in 4x4 bags. Well, the Enquirer went and purchased four of those on eBay and had a sample analyzed at two separate labs, found 16 types of dangerous chemicals in the turf that are referred to as forever chemicals because they do not break down. They can last in the human body for years. The U.S. federal government estimates that over 20,000 artificial turf fields containing PFAS or the forever chemical exist in the United States of America. And Darren Dalton obviously is kind of the big name on the list. And for me, the fact that we're talking about it and we haven't seen any one of our NBC Sports, we haven't seen ESPN or any of these big sports media companies run with the story, report on the story in any way, shape, or form, I think is as a disservice to the six gentlemen we just mentioned. Obviously, Darren Dalton holds a special place in a lot of our hearts, especially as a lot of us Philly fans that grew up during that time. I know you were kind of, you didn't know exactly where I was going to run with this today. This is kind of fresh to your ears. Let me get your thoughts, brother. I know you didn't get to see a whole lot of Veteran Stadium. You're hearing it through stories from people like me, Moose, Tommy Green, stuff like that.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this, brother? I mean,
Yeah, well, not just stories. You should rephrase it. I've been hearing your war stories from Veterans Stadium because that place was legendary. But my first initial instinct, Steve, is how did this happen? Like, how did the field get those chemical? Like, I know what they are. You just explained it, but like, okay, why did Veterans Stadium have those chemicals and not like every other stadium? So that's my first initial question is like, how did it happen? And then it's terrible. It's tragic. It's unfortunate. If there is a correlation between it and the players who have passed away and have gotten sick from it, it's terrible to see. I really hope that this analyzation of the sample of it. I mean, really hope there's not anything else out there. There's no other player, nobody else that from anything from Veterans Stadium that like residual effects. I know from like the September 11th attacks, there was the years later the dust and the carbon monoxide and whatnot caused a lot of or whatever it was caused a lot of serious injuries and whatnot. So when it comes to like demolitions and stuff like that and there's chemicals inside the stadium. I mean, yeah, you gotta really it's a serious matter. You gotta look into it, but it's unfortunate. I mean, but it's very interesting. It's such a unique thing where it's like these players were out there playing on a field that was contaminated with these chemicals or these forever chemicals that were dangerous and they didn't even know and you wouldn't even feel anything. I mean, you're just out there playing on a field, so like it's crazy.
What I think my thing that is a real head scratcher. I mean, it shouldn't be when everything comes down to it, right? We had two different teams playing in that stadium. We had the Phillies, we had the Eagles, right? But
Yeah.
this was mainly affected by former Philadelphia Phillies players. I haven't heard any former Eagles come up with this illness yet. So I mean, obviously that this news is like fluid and ongoing right now, but we have to see how everything plays out. It's just sad that they were these former players, coaches, etc. were basically being poisoned by the field that they were playing on. Everyone's got to get who was at least a young adult, a teenager before veteran stadium became no more has stories about it. How we talked to Tommy Green, he used to talk about how some of the rats are as big as dogs. So it's like, I mean, well, now we know. Now we got an answer as to why, but
it's those good old Philly rats for you.
We're just talking about Veterans Stadium. What about some of these other stadiums that were running the same turf or similar turfs to it that potentially had the same chemicals going on? I think the interesting thing is that it was all the same cancer.
Yeah.
That's what I found interesting about it. Hopefully
great point that there was no Eagles, so it really had to be something, I guess, with just when the Phillies were playing. I don't know.
How often are the Eagles there? Right? What?
Eight games a year.
8 home games? 8
home
games?
8 home games. 8, yeah.
So when you look at it, it's not surprising considering how often the Phillies were there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a terrible stuff, terrible thing to read, and hopefully no more of our Phillies alums, or anything like that, has contracted it. And the other thing that we talk about it, as I was just talking about Aramark and stuff like that, I wonder what some of these companies that were contracted to work there during those times, how many of those grounds crew guys and stuff like that, if they contracted any of these cancers or anything like that. I got sick from the stadium as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. You'd almost have to go and like just do like a little mini documentary on it, like go do an investigation, find if there was
somebody should for real.
Interview players, interview former, current. I mean, really look into this. Freaking get lawyers involved. I mean, whatever you got to do to really like look into this, because I mean, it's crazy.
Now, staying on some Phillies news, and here we go again. Another Philadelphia player is being linked to another steroid incident as outfielder Johan Rojas of the Philadelphia Phillies has tested positive for a performance-enhancing substance and will not be eligible to play in the 2026 World Baseball Classic. The suspension rules him out of the international tournament. Also affects his battle on the upcoming outfield spot during the Phillies, the rest of spring training. Obviously, being the fact that he's tested for a banned substance and a performance-enhancing drug, it's more than likely that he's going to serve a significant suspension here. So here we go again. Obviously, we're less than a year removed from losing one of our pitchers. Now we're gonna have to deal with this again, right?
Yeah, the Paul George of the Phillies. I mean, but in all seriousness, it's just hey, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I mean, these Philly sports teams with their suspensions and their banned substances and stuff like
It's the
that.
baseball players right now, and you got to wonder
Yeah.
why they keep getting hit for these banned substances. I think if you're a Crawford fan, it just means that it's a easier chance for him to get more at bats early in the season. It's unfortunate these guys just keep getting hit with these suspensions, and like I don't know if he got a tainted supplement, whatever the case may be, but you guys got to be doing better than this. I don't know if you got to have it tested beforehand. I don't know what you do moving forward, but it's not a good look because this is the second year in a row a Philadelphia Philly has tested positive for a banned substance.
Yeah. They got to get check the training staff, check the whoever's dealing with them, checking they're sending an officer to their homes and just make sure everything's some type of just well-being officer to make sure on behalf of the team, make sure everything's going well. And I don't know, man, just it's crazy. It's unfortunate, but I think they'll be. I mean, well, he's a great player. I mean, so it's a solid hit. So, I mean, if they lose him for a bit, so we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you say you're not going to miss roast, but I mean, it's just a crappy situation, when you look at it all around. And we're just talking about the World Baseball Classic, and here we are. We got you got two of our bigger stars in there with Schwarber and Bryce, but I think. That's not the one I would hit. This is the one I would hit.
Tyrese Maxey's going to be.
Yeah, I'll get to Maxey in a minute. We'll get to Maxey in a minute. But, obviously with Rojas being out, we now have 15 Philadelphia Phillies that are leaving to play in the World Baseball Classic, from 10 different countries, including, major league and minor league prospects from for this upcoming Classic. And I mean, you got a whole bunch of guys in there. Obviously, Schwarber. You got Harper. You got Christopher Sanchez, Jeff Hoffman, Bryson Stott, Amundo Sosa. Luzardo's going to be there. Kirkin's gonna be there. I mean, you have a whole lot of guys that are going to be on there. Does that concern you with missing out at the back end of camp? Spring training, and having them leave the team now to have to represent their team in the World Baseball Classic. Now let's remember the World Baseball Classic is not the U.S. Olympics, so I put it in a different category. I don't think it needs to be held as high to esteem that it is being held to, but we always ask about this every time it comes up, so I want to get your thoughts on this. Are you a fan of when the World Baseball Classic is done, and when, and if you could change it, if you didn't want it there, where would you like to see it? When would you like to see it take place?
Well, that's a great question, because here's the thing, Steve. Like, baseball is unique; it's 182 games, right? So.
162.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought for a split second I thought the NBA, the 82 games in the and I added them together. So
Lexi's a mofo, brother.
Yeah, 162 games. Hey, I wasn't that far off. So 162 games still. I mean, where are you going to put the baseball classic at when you look at it like that? I mean, you're going to put it right at the end of the World Series in fall. I mean, or a little bit after. Well, then it's not really. I mean, you're really cutting into the offseason, and then it's like we just had the World Series. I mean, that's the climax of baseball. So, I mean, I think it's all right having it right here. I mean, I'm definitely open if you have any suggestions for other times of it. But when it comes to the players going and actually playing in it and whatnot, I'm definitely in favor of them repping their country. I think it's awesome, and I think with baseball, not only with the games, I think you have less chance than basketball and football, and obviously hockey and all these things to get hurt. So. I think it's and if anything, it's getting reps in, so it gets some talented players. So,
one thing could be you partner up with baseball and do it during the All-Star game weekend. The other thing is if you're going to attempt to do it, I mean, obviously you're going to miss out on a lot of the bigger names, but do it. Start get together like in October.
Yeah. Yeah.
where
Yes.
you may not have all of your big name superstars, but you'll be able to get most of it done, and you're not taking it away from some team that is getting ready for getting ready for the start of the regular season. I don't have a perfect answer for you. I could be way wrong on this. I don't know, but I don't really care for pulling them away from their team
Yeah.
now as you're getting ready for the regular season to be able to do that. You know.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing is, I mean, they almost should have just do it like right at the start of spring training. I mean, they already have a few weeks into it. It's like, you're right because the opening day is now less than a month away. So, I mean,
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
now you're that's a good point. I agree with that, but it's baseball, man. I mean, it's just it's 162 games like we just talked about, or I thought it was 182 games, but it's 162 games, and it's a long season, man. It's a grind,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
hey, I knock on wood. Hopefully, everybody, Schwarber, Harper, they're all good out there. They perform well, and they get back and play
Oh, I got one
freaking
for you. I got something for you.
good baseball this year. What's up?
I got something for you. The number 6 Philadelphia Phillies prospect, Aaron Escobar, is going to be on this program.
It's gonna be on this program.
Yes,
That's like not what I was expecting you to say next. They're gonna
he's
like tell
going to
me a
be on this
stat or
program.
something.
I was just talking with his PR manager. Obviously, we're going to need an interpreter for this interview, but he's going to be on here.
Wow, wow. Now, this program, the JNS Sports Stop or South Florida Tribune?
No, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it on here with me and you. So
Oh,
probably what we'll have to do is work out a proper question list so he's not completely thrown off, and maybe we can get a little back and forth with him.
yeah,
But because obviously he's not born here in the United States, so
yeah,
it's gonna be a little a little rough. But he's gonna have an interpreter on with him, and
yeah.
we're gonna do our best to put together a fun interview. But big shout out to my man JR, hooking us up. We just did JR Rickett. We just had 2 of his guys that are going to be potential draft hopefuls on the Fan in the End last week. So I had
Hey.
seen that he was working with Escobar, and I'm like, listen, I'm a Philly guy. I'd love to have him on. He's like, oh well, he would have to have an interpreter. I'm like, I've done interviews like that before. Ain't no big deal, my man. And he was like, well, we'll make it work then. So we're
Yeah.
gonna have him on there. So like our own little breaking news here for our Philadelphia sports fan faithful, our baseball fans faithful. We're gonna have a bright young prospect here on the JNS Philadelphia Sports Stop. So regardless if it's Monday night or if it's another night, we'll wind up working it out and having some fun with it.
Well, look at that, folks. I just found out I'm going to be helping interview a Phillies prospect that doesn't speak any English. But listen, folks, if we wanted to interview a Phillies prospect that didn't speak any English, we tried getting the Moose on. He just didn't make it on the program today. But
he speaks some English. Don't go after Moose like that.
It's all funny. That's awesome, though.
Did I get that one done? Yeah, that's the one I already did. I got to get that one. All right, so now we were talking about it a few weeks ago, and unfortunately, it looks like your bias for one Dallas Goedert is going to be thrown by the wayside because it looks like that he is definitely going to be going elsewhere, right? Those are the reports that we're hearing today, that he is absolutely on his way out.
Well, if those are all the reports, I'm a little shocked because, like I say, I seem to be like the Dallas Goedert supporter over here. But like, it's
immediately
crazy.
the fans automatically go and pivot to, okay, let's bring Zach Ertz back. He wants to do his farewell tour. He's I think he's just over 10 catches away from some of those Eagles career records. He was on pace for another 70, 80 receptions last season before he blew out his ACL. He is scheduled to return week 1 of next season, right? But I want to go give everyone another option now. I know everyone wanted to go after the kid down in Atlanta, right? Everyone wanted to bring the Philly boy back home, right? I get that. I want likely. If I'm not going after the draft, because especially did you see Sadiq in at the combine last week? He had a great combine last week, so I do not think he's an option. I think he might very well be a top 10
Sadiq
draft.
the Freak. Sadiq the Freak.
That is an absolutely fitting name for him. So, out of the two I just mentioned, you got the young kid Isaiah Likely, or bringing the old man back for a final run here in Philadelphia. Who are you going with?
Well, listen, I think my brain would say to pick Isaiah Likely, and my heart would say to pick Zach Ertz. So I think that's kind of the best way to answer it. But if you're actually making me put the pen to the paper,
yes, put the pen to the paper. You're Harry Roseman. Who are you offering a contract to right now? Are you offering a contract to both of them?
Offering to both of them, I'm offering a. Well, listen, a lot of it does depend if, like, okay, so we're assuming in this question, Goddard's he's completely off the team, right? So okay, so then yeah, I mean, I guess you'd have to put more. I'd pick Likely over Earth just because. I don't clip that, but I'm saying for where they're at right now in their career and the
That's
injury.
right. You just said clip that, so guess what's gonna happen? That's what's gonna get clipped. I'm telling you, you cannot say clip that.
Darn it, AI.
Because that's what the AI does here on StreamYard. It's going to say it's going to clip that. So that's why it's going to clip that.
Yeah, it's doing its job, but I think how he should offer Ertz he needs to retire an Eagle. But if he still has something in him and that leg feels all right to go out and be productive, I think you do look into it. I think, but not just for sentimental things. I really would, but I would pick Likely out of the two because of the athleticism and the more younger rumored. It's upside. So that's all it is. The upside.
The sentimentality, I'm with you. I would like to. My heart, I would love to see Zach Ertz play one last season here, retire an Eagle, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But the business side of me would also basically, if we're already crunching numbers and letting Dallas Goedert, basically whoever's the cheaper of those two options is probably where I would go, because you're going to have to locate money elsewhere.
Right.
Obviously. We just brought in yet another coach that was on our potential offensive coordinator trail. Former Texans quarterback coach Gerard Johnson, who's a former quarterback himself, is joining the Eagles coaching staff. Sources say Johnson and Houston mutually parted ways so he could seek other opportunities. He's headed to Philadelphia to work alongside Nick Sirianni and Sean Mannion, and he's had dealings with multiple different guys on the Eagles coaching staff. So, obviously, he interviewed for the OC position. He wanted out of Houston, winds up here in Philadelphia. The revamping and retooling of the offensive coordinators and position coaches and things of that nature. Are you more than confident that the offense will not be as stagnated as it has been over the last few seasons?
Yes, because I think it can't be. It can't be any worse than it was last season.
It can be worse. It can be worse. That's where everyone gets this wrong. It can be worse.
You really think so? Because
you absolutely can be worse. Technically,
yes, you could be worse. Technically,
as bad as he was, it wasn't the worst offense in the NFL. That wasn't their problem. Their problem was the scheme that they were running was terrible. And I already said it. I still felt that Kellen Moore was as predictable, and some of the schemes weren't as great either. Even when we won the Super Bowl, so. They could have been worse, but I like the influx of guys that they brought in. You only have a couple coaches that were brought in that have like true connections with Nick Sirianni, that you're going outside of the box here. And I already said it, like anything but in-house guys, right?
Yeah. I know you hate that, yeah.
Quarterback coach, and that's why we just seen this young man get brought in too. So I'm happy with the moves they made, offensive coordinator wise. I mean, we already said it sucks to see see Stout University come to an end here in Philadelphia. But when you don't do what you need to do, change is sometimes the best thing, and we'll see what happens. So I do want to bring up one thing because it just shows you how soft this league was last year, how soft each and every one of these teams were last year, right? Because no one cares about the tush push, right? And last year that was the thing. Oh, we're going to ban the tush push. We're going to ban the tush push. Well, guess what? It is not on the docket for anything as far as the owner meetings that are coming up in the next couple of weeks.
I'll tell you what.
Over the past year, what's changed so that I missed something? Because it wasn't a football play. The Eagles were cheating. They were doing this. They were doing that. But all of a sudden, other teams are doing it now. Now we don't want to ban it. I'm confused.
Yeah, well, I also think this was getting a lot of chatter when we were the world champions, and then I'll tell you this much: if we pushed our way to another back-to-back world championship this year, I bet you those things would still be on the table. That's what's funny about it is like I bet you they kind of realized, oh well, it's not so unstoppable because they can get got on a bad day. So but I don't know. I think a lot of it reeks of just jealousy, but poor sportsmanship. If you wanted to ban it, I mean, just if you can't stop it, I mean, it's football. It's a man versus man sport. I mean, come on. I mean, stop the other team. Go lower than the other guy. There are ways to stop it. Jalen Carter on our own team almost catches spikes from Patrick Mahomes. I've seen him do it numerous times in NFL games. He tries to catch a spike. You can jump the count. Troy Polamalu for examples. I mean, there's guys that can time it right. So, yeah, I think to ban it's ridiculous, but the chatter it kind of did stop, and it's interesting that it just kind of just disappeared. We'll see if it picks up.
I just want to mention it. I don't know if you've seen this, but the USFL absolutely banned it. They did ban the tush push play for the. I mean, I don't care. It's the USFL. It doesn't affect us any, right?
Yeah. Wait, springtime ball. That's like starting like any day now, right? Or it did, or.
I think it's coming up because obviously they banned it for a reason coming into the season. So
yeah,
we'll see. But I'm glad it's not something we have to see go away. Yeah. Now, hopefully, the Eagles' offensive line gets their stuff together, and we can start being as effective as we were, the previous few seasons. That's kind of what you would hope if you're an Eagles fan. We'll see what happen off, but kind of previewed a little bit. We were going to be talking a little Maxey time here in Philadelphia, and there's absolutely a reason to talk about him. So Tyrese Maxey, over the last week, broke a franchise record for the all-time leader in three-pointers made for a Philadelphia 76er, passing the one that only Mr. Allen Iverson. Philadelphia legends don't get touched often, and Maxey is putting his name right at the top. From electric scorer to franchise cornerstone, Maxey's evolution is happening in real time. An evolution that we didn't really see with an Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson was the first ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt, but he didn't. We didn't see him evolve his game like what we're seeing out of a Tyrese Maxey. His jumper is pure confidence. It's sky high. The record books belong to him now, and the next era of Philadelphia basketball is unfolding in real time, and Maxey is leading with a smile and a flamethrower as he's roasting prior team records out of the history books.
Not just
we have to talk about it now, like not just breaking that, but some of his numbers, like he's top 2 and 3 in the league in that, and top 10 in the league in this and that. When can we start the MVP chatter? Because he has us in the playoffs. This was as of last week, right? And we're in that 6th spot.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
We're not in the play-in tournament. We're in the 6th spot, which is where you want to be.
Yeah.
So
yeah, put some respect on Tyrese Maxey's name. I cannot believe that he got that record so quick, because I feel like like he's not really been like Allen Iverson. I mean, it's Allen Iverson, so like his whole,
But also it goes to the changing of how the game was played from
yeah.
Allen's time to now. We talk about it all the time.
Oh yeah, yes. Thanks, Steph Curry, for changing the game. But
Oh man, I forgot we were talking about Edgecombe last week, getting close to that record. I was getting hell on TikTok. They were like, "Oh well, that it wasn't a big, Steph was only hitting one or two a game during his time." I'm like, well, even if that is the case, like, and everyone's still sitting there saying, Flag should be the far and away the rookie that, like, listen, we may have Philly blinders on, but the graphic I just pulled up had the Magic in where. Oh, they were outside of it. And if I think if we go over to the Western Conference, I don't think Cooper Flag's going to be anywhere close to a playoff push there either. So
yeah, I agree. Yeah,
a couple more before we get ready to slow this thing down and get this thing out of there. We were hard on Joel most of the season, right? Obviously, but have you seen since January his record when he's in the lineup and when he's out the lineup?
he's like the Lane Johnson of the Sixers.
It's a 17-point difference on the court.
Yeah.
And
So newsflash, ladies and gentlemen.
They've only lost 5 games with him in the lineup since January 1st. And I know he's dealing with an oblique injury right now. I get it. But if we want that playoff run, we need to bubble wrap him immediately.
Yeah, he's gonna get hurt getting wrapped in the bubble wrap, though. That's the problem.
So don't wish that upon him.
I just knocked on wood. But listen, yeah, I agree. Listen, Joel Embiid, newsflash, everybody, he's good at basketball. So when he's out there and healthy, he's going to be pretty damn dominant usually. So yeah, we need him healthy. We need Paul George, his mind right, his body right, healthy, legally on the team, and too. And we need Edgecombe and Maxey obviously healthy, and we just need the 4 of them out there. Because that's kind of really all our depth is not, we got rid of McCain and stuff. So, I mean, we're getting a little thin at depth, a little bit. So, I mean, Oubre's nice, but we're going to need those 4 and come playoff time. So,
okay,
for sure.
3 more. So, this one is an interesting one. What is the worst contract in Philadelphia sports history through your eyes? Is it an Eagle contract? Is it a Philly? And you can't even sit there and say baseball because baseball contracts are out of this world right now, as it is, anyways. If you, just at the top of your head, you think of the worst contract that you've seen during your time as a Philadelphia sports fan. What contract is it? Who was the worst one? Who did you?
That's a
one of our teams waste the most money on?
That's a phenomenal question. This is probably not my actual official answer, but I know the first couple names, like the era that popped up into my head, was the Chip Kelly, D'Amico Ryan, Sam Bradford era, like something. Or no, I got one for you, Namne Osawa.
I got a better one for you, and it's not one of our general. Like, see, everyone forgets about hockey, right? Did you forget what happened with Ilali Brizgalov? Did you forget what happened with him? We had to pay him for almost 9 years, and he won championships on other teams.
Sounds like
we paid him.
If you're him, that's not a bad deal, but that sucks for us. That sucks for us, dude.
I think it was like a 7 or 9 year contract when we signed him, and then he barely even played here 2 seasons and had to get out of it.
That's a bad contract. That's a bad one. Yeah. I'll give you that.
When you're paying a guy for almost 5 years, and then they go and win a cup elsewhere. Yeah, you have to pay a contract, and I think that has to be at the top of the list. The other one I don't think you're thinking of is Carson Wentz. I mean, obviously, listen. It was one of the reasons why I felt that contract is one of the reasons why I felt that we shouldn't have drafted Jalen when we drafted him, and thank God we did. Thank God we did. Right. So those are my 2 top picks. I'm trying to make sure we mix some hockey talk into some of this. I know it's not the biggest sport you want to follow, but I was a hockey fan before I was a football fan. So,
Oh no, and I acknowledge that I believe Flyer fans are like the hockey and the sport of Philadelphia is the truest, like most passionate fan base.
yeah,
Even though Eagles they might say Eagles are king. I think
yeah,
the Flyers are like the true king, if you know what I mean.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So
So, two more. One is just kind of a quick announcement. I want to get your initial thoughts on it. Now, obviously, you're not the biggest combat sports fan, but I don't know if you've seen last week that the UFC announced in August
oh,
they're coming back here to Philadelphia.
we gotta go to that, Steve, because I am a big UFC, a very big UFC fan. I could talk a bit
So
UFC with you.
I gotta say it right now. So without a doubt, we have to see at least three of the 5 to 6 Philadelphia fighters that are under contract with the UFC right now on that card. We need to see Sean Brady. We need to see Andre Petrosky. We need to see Joe Pfeiffer. We need to see Patrick Sabatini. These guys absolutely have to be on this card because the last time they were here, I think it was 2019. It was a fight night card, and it did not live to the previous expectations because the previous expectation was UFC 101 and UFC 133, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Those were
yeah,
pay-per-view events. Those were bigger events. You have a fight night card, and you didn't load it with Philadelphia Tampa. I think was a mistake.
yeah.
I don't think the UFC is going to make that mistake this time, but I think it's fair to say that we absolutely have to have the homegrown boys on that card without a doubt.
Yeah, bring Eddie Alvarez out too. Shit, at that point. So
Man, Eddie ain't coming out of retirement. I don't care if Dana offers him $1 million. I don't think he's going to come out of retirement.
yeah. Hey, I'm all for you though. Yeah, you have to. I mean, look at when.
Eddie will probably be in attendance, and
Right.
hopefully, like some of the guys at his gym, he'll probably try to see if he can get him on the roster beforehand to get them fights. But
Yeah.
I
Also,
think it's
like,
a big announcement with obviously already having the BKFC having Knucklemania here once a year. So
yeah. Also, we were just talking about how like Eagles and Flyers and like which is like the true biggest like passionate fan base. I'll tell you this: fighting and boxing is like
yeah, dude,
Philadelphia.
everyone underestimates it. It's just because that like boxing is Philly's true love, just
It
because
is. Yeah.
we're a fighting town.
Rocky, Joe Frazier. I mean, you have all that. You know.
Joe Frazier, everyone forgets about Bernard Hopkins.
Yep.
You
Yep.
got Jerron Bruce Ennis right now, and he's a world champion too. I mean, there's a lot of it. Danny Swift Garcia. I mean, there's a lot of lineage in boxing in Philadelphia. So it's one of the things I don't think that kind of gets enough attention through the local media. But nationally, I think we're known not just for our intense fan base, but the boxing tradition here in Philadelphia. So, last one, and this is going to be a fun one. I know you like to throw these weird ones out there, right? So I'm gonna throw this one at you. What is one sports take that would absolutely that you have that would actually turn this fan base against you?
You want me to lose all my followers?
No, I don't want you to lose all your followers. I just want you to go out there with your whether it be questionable, bad sports take, whatever. I mean, hell, we see Spike Eskin go at it on his
Okay.
soapbox multiple times a week and puts his foot in his mouth. We see Joe DeCamera put his foot in his mouth consistently. I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Hugh Douglas, that they don't have the greatest sports takes ever. They're somebody we all respect because they play the game and they have a unique way of looking at things, and I think that's why they're in the positions that they are. But I don't think anyone's above having a sports take that's going to rile the fan base up. So if you
Yeah.
have
That's
one, whether it's an Eagle take, a Phillies take,
Ooh.
whatever, what do you think it would be the take that would turn a fan base against you?
It's such a great question and thought provoking question. I'd almost have to ask, do you have one first so I could think about it? Because I have to think about it. Yeah. Yeah.
I would say it like this. What I would think that people would turn on me about is how I view the Philadelphia Phillies organization. And I think with the current team construct, and I do think they have one of the better pitching rotations in baseball right now. But I think I made it very well and clear that they needed to add more with what they did in the offseason. I think Garcia is going to be a great addition without having Nick Castellanos there, but I still think they're lacking a bat. We'll have to see what Justin Crawford is going to do. We're going to have to see what Andrew Painter is going to be doing. I would not be surprised if the Phillies do not make the playoffs this year. That is my controversial take that I get my my Philadelphia fan base riled up. Is that they won't make the playoffs, that the Mets and the Braves will bounce back this year, and they will push us to a point of not making the playoffs.
Interesting. That's a good one. That's a good one. I might go with how's this? Because I got to see it to believe it, and I think how about the Sixers getting bounced in the first round? I think the Sixers getting bounced.
Controversial at all. I think that's par for the course.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because, well, just on the last show we talked about how I actually put. This sounds so stupid because I just said that, but I put them in the NBA Finals, like on a recent show, talking about how they should be in the NBA Finals because the East is kind of weak, and if they're healthy,
have that caveat if they're healthy. Remember, we used that caveat when we talked about it. So
yeah. Well, I'm saying they're all going to be healthy, and then like the pressure and just the same old like the Cowboys in the NFL, they're going to get to the playoffs, first round, they're out, and it's going to be not even the second round this year. How's that?
Okay.
Bit of a hot take. Well, not really, not really. I guess.
Well, I think that's par for the course. But we had our fun today, right? And I almost forgot that obviously the episode is always brought to you by Fight Wax, and Fight Wax is the premium. I said premium, folks. It's the best out there. You ain't getting no better than this. Is the premium skincare for everybody, right? For you, for your pets, and it helps with and treats cuts, swelling, scrapes, abrasion, rejuvenates and restores stressed skin. Customers have used for soreness, stiffness, recovery. Designed for athletes of all active lifestyles, provides an ultra silky, non-greasy feel, deep hydration for everyday skincare, helps fight dry skin. Customers that use for skin disorders such as eczema, psoriasis, and again, the soap is coming. You got the pet shield as well. We should be getting, at least some of the guys on here should be getting some of our merch. We're going to be getting our own Fight Wax, so we're going to be able to check it out for ourselves and give you our little personal takes on the stuff that we're going to wind up using it for. So again, if you guys haven't already, please go check it out. Go hit the website and make sure you're using that code South15FW when placing your order. Save on your next order as we are getting closer to 2K subscribers. We're going to be doing some giveaways. And I'm going to do it like this. I will double people's chances to entry. If you do place an order, you send me a screenshot of it with you using the code. We'll get you a nice little care package out. We just did a post. I just did a post a few days ago with our 1 million view giveaway with Eddie Prather. So we're going to be looking to kind of support the people who support us. Fight Wax is one of our sponsors. They support us. Please go show them some love. They got some merch on top of that. So maybe if you're not into the Fight Wax and stuff like that, you can at least go buy some gear. They got some cool merch on there as well. But other than that, as we wrap this one up, brother, anything you got going on? You going to the Philly? You doing the Philly show this weekend?
Yeah, I'm going to try to get down to the Philly show probably Saturday. I think I'm going to try to go down Saturday. So usually, Saturday I'm going to go down. I got Merrill Reese, Dynasty Sports, March 21st this month coming up. So I'm going to meet Merrill Reese at one of the malls that Dynasty Sports is having him in. I have never met Merrill Reese before, so I'm like super excited about that. He's a legend. And I am trying to make sure I can get my schedule cleared. Jihad Campbell and Andrew Makuba are going to be at the Chesapeake Inn this Friday night for a fundraiser for the BJ Armstrong Foundation. Just kind of a dinner, meet and greet, whatever. So I've met both of them already before, but might head down to see that. I know the guy that actually putting on the event, so if I can make it down, I'll go there. And let's see. I might be having another Dr. J event, Julius Irving, coming up here in the next few weeks. Don't have an exact date set out, but thanks to Justin Brown, JB Sports Ventures, looks like we're going to be doing another. This is going to be in Philadelphia this time, though. It's going to be at a hotel. There's an event. It's going to be just giving out the details here very shortly, but in Philadelphia this time, not New York City. So
There you go.
that's the yeah. So a lot of fun stuff coming up, Steve. How about you?
Always got a crazy week here. I should be talking to Pat Combs in a few days. Got a bunch of the bare knuckle guys coming on, working out, trying to get former UFC welterweight and works a lot with BKFC. Is Chris Lights Out Lido should be joining us. I got Dr. Sarah Shell's going to be joining us. She's the basically the number one contender for the BKFC women's strawweight division. And I'm going to be joined by UFC veteran and current karate combat light heavyweight champion Sam Alvey is going to be joining us. And I might have a special guest to also hop in on it, make that interview just a little bit interesting. So, guys, you're going to have to make sure you follow, like, subscribe. The QR codes up top for YouTube at the South Florida Tribune. Guys, just, make sure you're showing us some love. But other than that, another fun episode in the books. I'm Steve. He's Justin. This was another episode of JNS Philadelphia Sports Stop. We'll catch you guys next week, my friends. Peace out.
Peace out, guys.